We're so excited to bring a panel together of some of our graduates from the Masters of Innovation Management program. It's nice to be reunited after such a long time. Tell me, how did the Masters of Innovation Management program actually help you in your career?
As you know, that medicine is totally different than innovations. It is where I shifted from the ordinary kind of teaching to something unique, something extraordinary, to think out of the box. So when I was having a task of leading the innovation strategy at the primary health care, it was a bit challenging because I have no idea or no background in innovation. So I thought, why not to join an institute where I can get my academic degree in innovation and explore the way in a more academic way, not just to search about it and self-learning. So that helped me a lot. My way of thinking was totally changed. I have a lot of contribution after joining the programs, and one of the things we work on, it's the telemedicine, which was, I do remember that when we joined the class, it was something new, and everyone was like, oh no, culturally will not be accepted, who will go to the virtual kind of consultation. So now, after the COVID, we realized that technology is important, whether it is in health, whether it's in education, so that helped a lot. And telemedicine was booming during the COVID. No one wanted to go to the clinic. They were afraid. They wanted the virtual way of consultation because they still need to reach to the doctor. So this is one of the things that it helped me a lot in my career and helped me a lot in understanding how we can merge or how we can use the technology in a way to deliver the healthcare system in an innovative way and more convenient way, and to reach to the population. So this is one of the stories that I can share with you during my graduations from MIM. We work a lot on a lot of projects. One of the projects was about AI, and how we can use the AI in our career or in our field. So I do remember before 2 years, my project was about symptoms checker. So I thought, why we don't have, since people are interested to know about their diagnosis by searching, but they are searching in a simple searching engine. I don't want to name it, but this is not a reliable way. So whenever they put, let's us, for example, say cough, they will end up with a cancer of lung. So that was not a reliable source of information. So I thought, why we don't have an AI as a symptoms checker? And then that will guide you, or that will keep asking you, just like a Siri or like any other's AI program, to reach a differential diagnosis. At least the patients will know what he has or when he has to seek a medical advice. So I do remember that project before 2 years, and what is nice that we had a company, they have this product, and it was not exist. So we started to work with that company. It is an NP company. It is Emirati-based company, and then they have the idea of AI as a symptoms checker and another innovative device. So we work from the scratch with them, and we did a proof of concept last year, and during Arab Health Congress, we announced that proof of concept result, which was really a good result, and now we are doing the piloting. So that is staging from the idea where it's just an idea, then how we can collaborate the idea, work on that, see how the systems will adapt or how the system will accept the idea to end up with a prototype, and then prototype will come as a final project. That was the stage which I learned at the innovations. So that's why when we say the sandboxing or how the innovations come, it comes as an idea, then you have to prove the concept, then you have to check the policy, the people acceptance, how the end user will use it, how the healthcare system can change to adapt this innovation. So this is a real story of innovations, and this is what I learned in MBRSG.
Oh, that's a fantastic story. I'm going to come to you, Esra. So you're a kindergarten teacher, right? And recently you won an award. So tell us about this journey and how this award came.
Okay, it actually all started from MBRSG, MIM. Actually, MIM program helped me in expanding my knowledge in the efficacious use of AI and robotics in different sectors of the government, especially the education sector where I specifically work. Professors of MIM were very supportive with their thoughtful and knowledgeable mindsets. I learned about different theories that are related to innovation, different strategies that are set by the government to enhance AI in different sectors. So, such as AI strategy, for IR strategy, and STI policy. So I was researching a lot with your support, Professor Melidina, if you remember, in the class. So I was researching a lot about this topic. What I found is many countries, pioneering countries in AI actually implemented and integrated robotics into early childhood, let's say, context. So what I liked and what I found is that using robots is very effective in terms of enhancing children learning skills and learning attainment. And that's actually what I did. I've implemented a program called Robolf with my friend. Robolf is a small humanoid robot who interacts with kids, reads story to them, announces different initiative at the kindergarten. You know, you have to program it. So that's what I did. My kids really like the idea and they like the robot. This program actually aims to support children learning attainment and learning skills, increase their enthusiasm towards learning, adapt new teaching strategies, and spread the culture of AI. So this initiative led me to win a distinction medal in the Founding Leader Award by the Ministry of Education 2019. I was honored to be rewarded a distinction medal by the Minister, His Excellency Hussein Al-Hamadi.
Wow, that's awesome. And Hessa, so you're working and leading in innovation in DIWA.
Yeah, actually, I graduated at one of the first batches here in MBRSG in MIM program. Actually, after I graduated, there's a lot of opportunity that came to me. For example, I'm handling now innovation in our division. So I'm trying to boost the innovation culture among the engineers.
So you find boosting, is it easy to make a culture change when you try to bring in innovation?
In our division or
just in general, so in your experience?
I don't think so actually, because our country are focusing on innovation as we have the innovation agenda nowadays. So I don't think it's hard, to be honest, because the whole country is pushing through this path.
Hessa, you said you'd done an interesting project during your innovation class, which was on managing the part-time and how many hours people come and work on rotation of shifts. Tell me about that.
I proposed that in our service innovation course with you, Doctor. It was about changing the shift so we can increase the happiness of the people and also to boost the productivity in the control room, as I'm working in control room. So we proposed that to our VP, and he raised up to our EVP. Then finally, before 2 months, we started to change the shift pattern. So it seems like people are very happy nowadays.
Well, congratulations! That was a very difficult project. I remember how much effort you put working onto that.
Another project, or actually my dissertation, was about IPR, which is intellectual property rights. I focused on DEWA, so nowadays in my division as well, I have been selected to be one of the innovation champion to even so boost the IPR, so we can get some revenue, maybe, you never know, and even to protect our engineers' ideas.
Wow, fantastic. So one of the things we talk about a lot in class is these wicked problems, or how the starting point of innovation is defining problems. Do you agree with that, or do you think no?
I think yes. It starts with innovation. Totally is about solving problem. You have to find a problem, and then you have to think how you can solve this problem. So innovation is about solving problems. And this is what we learned in the class. In that class, we had like a wicked problem, and this is actually where I start with the idea of robot. In that class, I started with to solve a problem at the kindergarten, and how can I increase children enthusiasm? So using the latest technology. So I came up with the idea we can solve this problem, this wicked problem, by introducing robots. So yeah, actually, and then I built up with my dissertation. My dissertation was about this concept as well. And then I implemented in the real life. I brought a robot, and then I implemented the program, and it led me to win a distinction medal.
Very good. So we talk a lot about benchmarking, right? Do you think it's important to benchmark, and how does innovation actually, why should it be benchmarked?
Yeah, it's very important. I'll talk about the examples of the telemedicine. When we were talking about telemedicine, there was no policy or regulation to support the telemedicine services at per se, because it was not exist before. So then you have to change the regulation, and to adapt the idea, you have to do benchmark, because in other countries they have the concept and they have implemented the telemedicine. So when you wanted to implement the idea which was not exist, and you don't have the regulation, and especially when it comes to the health, because health will affect the humans, will affect their health, and you want to protect the healthcare worker and to protect the community or the clients who are receiving the service. So benchmark is very important. So you have to see other countries what they implemented and how they implemented the service. Did they implement it to certain category, and how they adopt the policy, how they make sure that the rights of the customer was preserved, and the physicians' right as well, and how they can make sure that we are in a safer practice. Because you don't want to implement something and then you discover that it is unethical, or it is illegal, or you reach to the medical error. You want to be a safe practitioner, or you have to protect the clients before implementing. You don't want to start the service and then to come up with the problems, and you discover a major thing that you did not know about it. So benchmark will help you to know that things, to know how the ideas was implemented, to know what is their challenges or struggles. So you will learn from their mistakes or from their challenges, and then when you will implement it at your service, you will come with the solutions, and you will come with some idea, or maybe you will come with innovative product which they did not have it. So you will start something new. So you have to do benchmark. Benchmark will help you a lot to save time and to learn from other experience.
So let me start with you, Syed. You're an inventor, and I find this very fascinating, with almost close to 30 patents and IP, right?
Yes.
Tell us about your journey, and how did MIM contribute to you?
Yes. Before I joined in university, my method is a little different. Before I'm starting of the idea, I'm going to implement it. My idea without any study will be in the same way what I want. But after, when I joined in university, I find many of the information, and there are steps to go to find your idea, and the result of your idea, when you're going to find research, and you will see how it is like through of data and analysis, and there are many of we can say tools. You can use the tools to find the last of the answer. And about the answer, they are, when you're going to start any kind of idea, you should to ask you many questions to find the answer. So this is a steps. It's very important to implement your ideas before anything. You should you should find a result, or some like how it is when you compare your idea with other ideas. So this is what I learned in the university, and actually in innovation management.
So I see you brought a lot of certificates and awards. So you want to tell us what some of these during the MIM program?
Yes. One of the awards.
Do you want to show it?
Yeah. Actually, this is from Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, an excellent program, Dubai government. When I was in Dubai Customs, when I'm trying to present myself, a student in university, and really I have many ideas already. I implemented in Dubai Customs, like robots. I call it X robot and 3D robots. And actually, I implemented in my home because I made a small lab, and really it is very. I enjoyed in my time, in that time when I tried to find something like balancing between a university and my work, with which I study in university, and what result of my ideas. So because of that, alhamdulillah, I won in a program, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, he said to me, you are one of the best employee in Dubai. So this is something, I can keep it in my life, and I can studying my children and my friends, to tell him what meaning of, if you were someone like Sheikh Mohammed, he told you these words in your life.
Congratulations. So Halima, I know you've been doing a lot of exciting things. It started with your smart parking assignment, if I remember. Do you want to talk about all of this?
Okay, so actually let me tell you about my experience once I joined the program. Actually, I have searched lots of universities to have picked the perfect major for me to continue my study. So when I joined the university, actually you get that feeling that it is something different. The colleague is excellent, the professor, the instructor are very perfect, and they always there to support you. So when I get back to the days when I joined my work, I remember myself, I was really young, so whenever I come with the idea, I just write it as a note, and then I just click on my manager office and I tell her my ideas, and then I just start applying. But once I joined the program, everything was changed. When I come up with the idea, it's not just about write it down and let people know about your idea. It's totally different. Now you get to know about, like, you have to do benchmarking to know what other people have created and how they made something different than your ideas. So when I started now coming up with initiative in my work, it's totally different when I compare myself between the days that I start the work and the day that I reach it now. So I remember that I came up with initiative, actually it was last year. So I was telling them, I know that I have only 2-year experience in the work, but I want to take that opportunity to go and be the responsible about Innovation Month. So they were like having a discussion, like how are you going to handle it and these stuff. So I told them, just give me one meeting and I'm going to tell you about my whole ideas. So I remember that day when I was talking to our director of Higher College of Technology in Fujairah, I was starting telling him how I will start doing the exhibition, and I have also come up with the drawing. So when I ever explained anything, he was really focused, and then he told me, how do you imagine all that whole things, and you take us from the beginning we enter the door until we exit that exhibition, you have a full picture of that things. And then once he leave the room, he told him, I want her to lead the Innovation Month, the whole month. So then I started the exhibition, and I actually built a strong rapport with my colleague in the classroom, Isra. So I have invited her with her kids actually to participate in my exhibition. Yeah. So the exhibition was excellent. We get lots of good feedback from our partners, from the students who joined the exhibition, and also I have given the students the opportunity to come up and show their innovation stuff. So actually the students were very happy because this is the first time that someone giving them the opportunity to come and share their innovation. So people come to visit the exhibition and they have like a very good feedback from whoever visited the exhibition. And Isra was one of the visitors actually.
Yeah. You recently won an award too, right?
Actually last year, because of that exhibition, I won the best innovator employee in city. And this year I have won 2 awards. The first one was the best youth medal, and the second one was because of the excellent programs and initiative that I have come up in the work.
Congratulations.
So this year 2 and last year 1.
Congratulations. Esra, you have also won a medal, haven't you?
Yes.
Is this it?
Yeah, this is the medal. It's from the Ministry of Education and the Founding Leader Award. So this is the distinction medal.
Is this for the work that you've been doing with the robot?
Yeah, with the robot. I've done actually lots of initiatives, and one of the initiatives is the robot.
Fantastic.
So,
Kaula, I know you've been publishing a lot, so do you want to just talk about some of the publications that have been an outcome from your Masters of Innovation Management program?
One of the publications which I work with your guidance, it is the sandboxing and how we apply the sandboxing and innovation. As we know, whenever I was searching for sandboxes, it's all fintech. There is nothing related to innovation or health. So that was a challenge for me to find out a paper about it. Then I thought, why we don't implement the same idea, because it's really help, especially with an innovative product, because we don't know the consequence of the product itself, how it's impact the people and user. Is there any policy for that product or not? How we can start up doing the testing without harming the people who are in the study. So that's the idea was with the sandboxing. So we tried to search a lot. I do remember that I came for you several times. I told you there is no paper. I cannot find out any paper about sandboxing in telemedicine or in any other things related to health. And it's a good idea, because what we find out, and during the paper we launched a different tool about how implementing a sandbox in healthcare system. So we started with the idea, then we are testing the idea, and we are checking if there is a policy to support that idea. Is there any regulation? What about the ethics? What about the end user? Technology, if it was involved? Any other related let's just say, I can't say anything related to the product itself, so we can test it during a safe environment. So
and you have one more publication, right, from your dissertation that you've now got accepted as a conference paper?
Yes, it is about the big data. As you know that we transferred to the smart government long time ago. So all the entities in UAE now, they are smart entities. So we have created a huge data. It's not only in healthcare, it's a healthcare, it is, let's just say, DIWA, RTA, whatever entity you can name it. So we have a lot of data. So we have to utilize that data in terms of understanding the community, understanding the population. So I took it from the healthcare perspective to mining the big data. We are talking about the AMR data, which is electronic medical record data, smartphone data, human data, and everywhere, and we have to collect it and mine those data to better understand population. We can use it as a real-time data. So we have to shift ourselves from the ordinary method of collecting data and a questionnaire and got those things which is time-consuming, and utilize the innovations which we have. We have generated a lot of data, so it is the time to use the big data, and this is, I do believe, that the government direction, and you can see a lot of a project and initiative toward the big data. So I did a systematic review on that, and I got acceptance from Barcelona, Spain, to present my
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I want to very quickly just ask each one of you, why should someone join MIM programs? And if you could just let the audience know why you think they should come.
Yeah, if someone he want to increase his knowledge and he want to find like a solution, not just in like a government work, if he want to to create some like project, like a company, when he study this kind of the information, you will find his way, in an easy way, and he will save his time and the money. This is what I found it in my project when I tried to create a new company. It is actually a new, unique company in UAE when I get approval also from the government. And actually, many of people, he say, how you can get this idea and how you find it with this huge of the ideas. I say, because I am studying something it is special. It is calling innovation. Innovation, it is something you cannot understand it if you're not learning how it is. This is what I found in innovation management.
Thank you. Halima.
Okay, so as His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid mentioned, that innovation is a way of living. So it's very important for everyone who is looking for, who is actually want to adapt the change that we are coming, because every year we have lots of new things coming around. So if you want to be that person who is always adapting that change and come up with the ideas and challenge yourself, so I would advise anyone who is looking for challenging things to join the program, and you have to go out of your comfort zone. So MIM is a different program. It's a unique. Colleagues is excellent. You get to know people from different institution and company, and you build that strong relationship with the student. And the professor is always there to support you. They come up with the new ideas. The program actually, even the courses and what we are studying is totally different than any program that you are going to actually join. So I would highly recommend the major actually.
Thank you.
Okay, I would highly recommend those who are interested in innovation, like me, who have the passion of innovation, to choose this program, specifically MIM, to join it, because I believe this program is unique as it prepares its students to solve problems innovatively using the latest technology such as AI and robotics, aligning with the government trends and strategies. Therefore, it graduates its students with skillful experience to face any future obstacle in their workplace. So yeah, I think it's, and for me, from my own perspective, I believe it's the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Thank you.
So I would do recommend MIM for anyone who is graduated, and as my colleague said, is interested in innovation. Even if they are not interested and they find that it is something vague, let them start. Let them join the college. They will start exploring. So the program, it is not a spoon-feeding program like what we had during bachelor degree. No, it's totally different. It's change your way of thinking. You will have a different aspect. You have a lot of things, whether it is to know about the strategy itself, about the tools itself, how to think about the innovations, how to implement this ideas in your work or even in your life. And what is interested about the program, I was lucky to have the trip to San Francisco to see how others thinking about. When we went to Silicon Valley, to Google, to Facebook, and to those institutes, it was totally different. I would say that they how they tackle the information, how they bring the mindset. So people were not from US. There are different people from different countries. They're attracting them by startup, by giving them opportunity. So they are attracting the mindset. So this is totally different. I enjoy each day in the college and each project. Yes, I was finding it difficult, especially with the work and the life.
Agree with you.
It was really hard, especially with the COVID. I had to finish my thesis, and this COVID is a new thing. Work balance, my life, my family life, it was really challenging, but I enjoy it because I took that challenge. And I enjoy what I did during that period. It was a tough period, but you have to do it. If you didn't challenge yourself, if you say that innovation, it is a totally different area and it is nothing is there, I cannot think about it. No, you can't. Everyone has that talent, but you have to believe in yourself and you have to go to an institute where they guide you, where they can explore the strength in you. So I totally recommend this university.
Thank you.
So coming from engineering background, mostly people, when they are thinking about masters, they will go to engineering management, for example. But for me, I want to be like different because I know a lot of my colleagues have been graduated in engineering management masters. So I was searching and I came up with the innovation management. It was new to the country and even new to the world. So as I mentioned before, being one of the first batches has been graduated from MIM, especially from MBRSG, helped me a lot. First of all, to understand the concept of innovation. If we before entering the college, most of the people, even me, we thought about innovation is about inventing a new thing. But while the innovation is about even changing a small thing that will lead to a better benefits or a better results. So this is one of the reasons. The other reason is about how the structure of the papers here in MBRSG helped me. So we have to understand the theory, then we have to benchmark along the board if the theory has been implemented. Even so, we have to like think about the theory or the concept that we came up and try to apply it here in UAE. So it's like, how can I say it? It's like a brainstorming session, but with a theory background. So along with that, it's come the legal standards. We have to consider them, the agenda of the country itself, the trends. Yeah, that's it, I guess.
So just before we end, just one word. What do you think innovation is? Just one word, quickly.
I think it is something new.
New.
Adapt change.
Problem solving.
Come up with new ideas, implement it.
I would say joyful. I know it's weird. Joyful and whatever the others read.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you so much.